World-class innovators continually transition their revenue source. It's kind of fascinating when you think about Apple. Apple just had another big series of announcements yesterday. Do you know that 60% of Apple's revenue comes from products that didn't exist 4 years ago? And, we all look at Apple and go, well, I mean, they're just an innovation machine. They've mastered innovation to a huge degree. I'm a food manufacturer. I can't do that. But I challenge you, 5 years out when the world has continued to accelerate, can you get yourself to a situation in which 60% of your revenue is coming from products that didn't exist 4 years ago? The nature of our relationship with food is changing. We're pressured by social networks. We get all kinds of new branding messages. Our attention spans are disappearing. New foods emerge faster. And what is happening is organizations are discovering that they can generate continuous new streams of revenue. What's happening, for example, with snacking, it's almost become like the fourth meal of the day. 24% of all meals consumed by 2010. And one individual observed in Private Label Buyer magazine that if you think about what is going on, snacks are like a fashion category. A snack will emerge with a unique taste trend, a unique style, a unique branding image, and people will buy it and they'll get all excited about it. They'll talk about it on Twitter and share some insight, and then it disappears because something else moves in. And so there are organizations, world-class innovators, who are sitting back and saying, what I need to do to succeed in the future is I need to speed up my R&D pipeline so I can continually generate new products, new brands, where those products and brands did not exist before. You think about what is happening in society today. Because we have this world in which what's happening is that, taste trends now go mainstream faster. It's estimated that, if a high-end restaurant develops a unique taste, it used to take 5 years to get out to the broad market. It might now take 12 months compared to 36 months or 5 years previously. So how do you scale up, for that? How do you work faster? We've got faster influencers that change consumer behavior. I did a keynote in Las Vegas last year, spent a lot of time in Las Vegas, and this was actually for a conference of booze executives. It's kind of fascinating. 11:30 in the morning, they had a mixologist set up mixing exotic drinks for everybody. So when everybody came into the keynote, they were really, really happy. They were all splashed. But we were talking about what's happening in the booze industry in terms of taste trends. All of a sudden, the show Mad Men comes along, and all of a sudden, people are buying daiquiris and all these really old drinks, Manhattans, sidecars. And the industry has had to learn, how do we respond to this? They've seen consumers focused on value. So how do we come up with value-priced booze? The small plate formats, and how do we come up with tasting drinks that can fit with what is happening with that? Culinary cocktails, where we're mixing the concept of fitness and booze into a cocktail. I'm not quite sure how that works, but they're talking about freshness of ingredients. They're talking about functional, vitamin-oriented cocktails. Their entire world has changed to having to deal with the fact that consumer behavior changes faster than ever before. Think about the impact of food trucks. Think about what's going on with food trucks. The whole issue of pop-up trucks and eat street food. What is happening is that chefs, who have a passion for food and a passion and a purpose for a particular food taste trend, the capital costs to set up a high-end restaurant are way more expensive than getting a food truck. And so you think about what is happening here. They're putting those food trucks out there, and what happens with that is the more rapid emergence of new taste trends. Everywhere we go, we have all these things that are happening that are allowing new tastes, trends, and brands, and ideas, and images to emerge faster than ever before, driven by the speed of social marketing. And that means, as a product developer in the food industry, you have to react faster. And you have to learn how to turn this trend into an opportunity. That's what world-class innovators do. They challenge themselves to keep up with faster, more unpredictable consumer behavior.